Hey everyone, this is CBC News, CBC Doc's Point of View. They're coming out with a big documentary on November 2nd. That's when it's supposed to happen. And what's it called? Listen to this, folks. The big CBC debut. Shut 'em down. The rise of Jordan Peterson. And if you look at this hit piece, like, come on. Wow. Holy political propaganda. Oh, and by the way, this episode is going to be available in Canada only. Shut him down. The rise of Jordan Peterson offers a behind-the-scenes glimpse into the firestorm sparked by psychology professor Jordan Peterson's stance against Canadian human rights legislation in late 2016 and his meteoric rise to global fame for denouncing political correctness. But let's be honest, let's just clarify the air right now. Let's just clear the air right now. No, he was saying that you don't get to compel speech through political acts or edicts, right? Or legislation. So this in regards to Bill C-16. Jordan Peterson said, listen, the buck stops here. You do not have any right or authority to write legislation that forces or compels me to use language in a manner that is not conducive to what's rolling around in my mind, or the thoughts or the truths or beliefs that I hold in my mind. You don't get to undermine me. You don't get to force me to say what you want me to say. Now, there's no pretense of freedom of speech or even freedom if you have the ability or the capacity to force me to align with whatever you have to say and to dictate what I say. Filmmaker Patricia Marcosia was able to follow psychology professor Jordan Peterson as he navigated his way through the biggest controversy of his career. With candid interviews and unparalleled access to Peterson, his family, and to transgender and social justice activists who opposed his views, this documentary provides a fascinating look at the internationally scrutinized dispute. Sparking both outrage and support, Peterson's criticism of Bill C-16 and policies that enforce the rights of non-binary gender identification were met with protests and calls for his dismissal from his tenured university position, as well as an outpouring of social and financial support through online donations. It's not a matter of enforcing the rights of these non-binary gender people. It's about compelled speech. Can you at least be somewhat honest or objective? I mean, you're just talking about your hit piece. Can you at least be objective? We know what we're going to hear and see from this hit piece, or at least we suspect what we're going to see and hear from this hit piece, although I'm hoping and holding out that it won't be as bad as I suspect. But we kind of know where you're going with this, but can you at least be honest in the lead up? But apparently not even there. Shut Him Down explores how many people, from activists to legal scholars, did not believe Peterson was genuinely concerned with free speech. He was seen as transphobic by some and a hero for civil liberties by others. His public lectures, which are crucial of political correctness, made him an in-demand and high-paid speaker, internationally best-selling author, and academic. Shut Him Down takes an unprecedented look at Jordan Peterson and examines the tension between free speech and hate speech, exploring points of view of those on both sides of the heightened debate.
I am, like many others, a recent devotee of Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Jordan B. Peterson. He's become awfully popular with some people and massively unpopular with others.
He thinks about gender and sexuality in a very white way. He is a dinosaur.
This is someone who has an almost cult following.
What he is doing is very steeped in a racist, transphobic, homophobic, lesbophobic, white male, patriarchal, neoliberal approach.
Jordan B. Peterson has actually changed my life.
Jordan Peterson is the patron saint of the burgeoning men's movement.
I'm trans and I love Jordan Peterson.
I think that Jordan Peterson needs to have his teaching license revoked.
That's also not a free speech issue. You're just a dick.
Clinical psychologist Jordan B. Peterson has been described as one of the most influential thinkers of our time.
He is dangerous because of the types of people he enables.
Aren't you just whipping people up into a state of anger? And
not at all.
You're just saying things though to provoke, aren't you? I mean, you are a provocateur.
I never said
You're like
anything.
the alt-right that you hate to be compared to.
There's not a chance that I'm going to use left-wing authoritarian language to describe anything ever, period.
Anyways, like I say, I'm really going to look forward to seeing this hit piece, even though, like, I recognize that, hey, it's probably not going to be good. It's probably going to infuriate me in some way, in some capacity, but that's the thing. I don't reject information, even information that I don't like. I actually want to hear what they've got to say, which is why I pay attention and why you see that I talk about a lot of articles or media personalities or political stances or positions from people that I don't align with or people that I see as opponents of liberty. That whole expression should be something we all understand is, yeah, you want to definitely know what you perceive as your enemies are up to or what they think. And trying to silence them or suppress them is like, no, I would never want to do that. I want to know exactly what's on your mind, because that's my best defense against you, is knowing what you stand for. That way I can either push back against it, offer my own dialogue, my own narrative, or avoid you completely while always looking over my shoulder to make sure I know exactly what you're up to. Anyone that tries to silence their opposition, it's like, what do you want them to go into stealth mode? I don't think that's a good strategy no matter which way you look at this. But in reality, we know that this is nothing about the way they suggest it. In reality, they want to be able to suggest Jordan Peterson is a terrible person and then just don't pay attention to anything he says and just believe this. Because if he says what he's got to say and you actually hear what he's got to say, you might not believe that he's a bad person that we're trying to suggest. That's ultimately what they're scared of. That's their biggest fear, is that people will listen to Jordan Peterson and realize that, oh, wait, these proponents in the media, these political hacks, they've been lying to me all along. Shame on them. And you know it's true. Especially those of you at the CBC, you know that's true. Which is why you're losing the information war, which is why you're now at the point where you have so little influence, thank goodness for that, and power over the minds of the masses. Yeah, you might still have a certain segment of society that only listens to your rhetoric, but like I say, in the age of information, less and less people are stuck in that particular paradigm. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.